Excellency Governor, good friend, and my senior as well in high school, CEO, I'm very sure that if I get fired tomorrow, the fact that I went to Alliance, I'll find a job. It looks like that is the qualifying criteria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to be here this afternoon. I got an invitation Thursday in the evening, but that invitation, I was not sure whether it was an invitation or it was a command, because the person that sent the invitation many years ago used to be my deputy school captain, and Arthur Adair, and I think in my mind I did not want to say no because he could summon me somewhere else. But thank you so much for inviting me to be here. It gives me great pleasure to be here this afternoon. Let me recognize somebody from my office. Although he didn't even tell me he's coming here, I've just seen him, Bona Joe Carago. Joe, you can stand up. Joe Carago heads my delivery unit. It's called Integrated Project Delivery Unit, and it's the one that is tasked with putting together the affordable housing program. I'm so delighted because of many things today. One is the fact that Centum continues to raise the bar. One of the most credible local companies. And when we embark on this journey of putting together this very difficult program, affordable housing, and it's difficult because there are a lot of systemic challenges. And if one of them is off, for example, the issue of land titling, processes, financing, one of them can completely derail the program. We were wondering whether we are ever going to get local developers who are credible enough that are going to bite. And Centum did. And not only are they developing for the high end, but the last time I met the management, they told me they've now studied and they fully understood the affordable housing program, and at the board level, they have approved that going forward, they're going to be investing in affordable housing. And that is important because it validates the importance of this particular pillar, but it's good that it is being led by our own local developers for a couple of reasons. When I look at housing, the 500,000 houses program is going to cost 1.2 trillion shillings. That is money we don't have in the budget. And so this is money that will have to be mobilized from private investors. And to go and mobilize from private investors is not an easy job, because I'm a banker by profession. I understand money, and capital does not linger around waiting for people to make decisions. And you know, sometimes anything that is government-led tend to have a lot of bureaucracy. I believe if this was, we were planning, it will still be benchmarking somewhere. But you need the private sector to bite and to lead the way. Two, this pillar is not just about the very non-negotiable rights that Kenyans bequeathed to themselves when in 2010 we came up with a constitution that Kenyans gave themselves what we call non-negotiable rights. And one of them is the right to housing. It's contained in Article 41. Now, this right, the only challenge is we never sat down and asked ourselves, Article 41, how do we fund it? Because it is a non-negotiable right. It is your right. It's not a favor that we're doing to you. But how do we fund these, what you call social justice? And so, to have investors who are local leading the way is very important. Number two, this pillar of housing is going to be very important in terms of creating the economic stimulus that we need. Because when you think of housing, and you look at the entire value chain, from the people that move on the site, so direct jobs, indirect jobs. You've heard about the mamambogas and the vibandas who have just set up because of this work. So this is a pillar where not only are we providing dignity to our people, but we are also investing in our own society. So again, a very important pillar, and that is why we are glad that you have led the way. I am glad that you have credible local contractors. We have really struggled with local contractors. We want to support local, but in many ways, they don't finish on time, they cut corners, but now we are seeing a crop of very credible local contractors. And so congratulations to the team that has put this together. I'm glad to hear now there are permanent jobs being created here. We know, and I think the CEO, the group CEO has spoken about the lack of credibility in the market, especially with developers. Lots of Kenyans have lost their life savings because of quack developers. So again, to have a credible developer start a project, finish on time, and the investors get the value for their money is not something that we take lightly. So thank you so much, Center. Let me say something about Kilifi. Again, one of my favorite counties. And let me tell you, it's important to have good leadership and visionary leadership. And I'm not saying that because he was my senior, we played soccer together. Don't look at my mkaba. We used to play soccer together. We have seen a lot of progressive development coming to this place here. Why? Because you have good and visionary leadership. I interact a lot, Bwana Governor, with your waziris. The waziri there is my friend. I was surprised that the other day I was calling him because there's something we wanted sorted out in Kilifi. He told me now he's in health. But nevertheless, he actually decided that he's going to sort it out. And he did. You're doing a great job with this county. And we, as a State Department, have partnered with Kilifi on a number of very progressive programs. We finished the Kenya Informal Settlement Improvement Program, where both Kilifi and Malindi were beneficiaries. I personally supervised work at Saali. If you go to Saali Informal Settlement today and someone tells you this was a slum area, you will not believe it, because good infrastructure, and now we can see people are building for themselves decent. So again, congratulations on that. I know there is the Kenya Urban Support Program where Kilifi and Malindi again have been gazetted as municipalities, and there is a great work that is going on in those places. So we really appreciate that. I want to wind up because I am not the chief guest. May 1st was Madaraka, and I have had the privilege and pleasure of serving under His Excellency the President, and I have had an opportunity to listen to a lot of his speeches. But this particular speech, I think, ranks amongst one of the most beautiful speeches that I've ever listened to. And at that point, when he stood to address the nation, he did not stand there to address the nation just as the commander-in-chief. He was also addressing the country as the consoler-in-chief, a country whose lives have been ravaged by an enemy that you do not see. And a couple of things that I picked up from his speech that I want to remind you, and if you get an opportunity, kindly download the speech and read it again. He spoke about to reimagine. He spoke about to hit the reset button. And he spoke about when you hit rock bottom. And a lot of you and families, your livelihoods have been disrupted. This Kilifi is a major tourism, attraction centers. People have lost jobs in this sector. And the question is, where are the new jobs going to be created? Where are they going to come from? This calls for a reimagination. And the beauty, for those who are in the construction sector, you know very well, when you want to put up a good house, you must look for the rock. And so, rock bottom for us in this sector is a very good place for us to start. This sector has also been affected greatly, but I believe it is also the sector that is going to lead the country into creating the new jobs that we need. So, Bwana Moria and your group, we need you to reimagine. If you wanted to do 4,000 houses, redouble, because we need to create good jobs while creating good infrastructure. So I want to end my brief matter, I didn't even know I was going to speak, by asking all of us, let's reimagine. What country are we going to build? The challenge with COVID is that every country is struggling with it. America, you've seen over 200,000 people dead, 7 million people infected. So where are we going to turn to? When this country shut down, we reimagined. We have people who are making masks and making ventilators. We are a great country. So let's reimagine and rebuild this country pillar by pillar, block by block, but we'll have to do it all of us together. With those few remarks, I'd like to wish you and congratulate all of you, investors, and may God bless you. And I hope that one day I'll also come and live here. Thank you.